एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। और आज की वीडियो में हम फिर एक नए टॉपिक के साथ आए हैं। इन माय प्रीवियस वीडियो आई टॉक्ड अबाउट इरेगुलर वर्ब्स and in this video we are going to talk again about verbs but a different kind of verb. So without delay, let's get started. So आज की वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे A1 लेसन 19 सेपरेबल वर्ब्स, जिसको हम Trennbare Verben भी बोलते हैं जर्मन में. Now, what are the objectives for today? We are going to learn what are Trennbare Verben, what is their position in a sentence, how are they conjugated, and various Trennbare Verben. Now, let's get started. Here are two verbs, aufstehen and losgehen. Aufstehen means to get up and losgehen means to go off. Now, here I have already written this. This auf and this los are prefix, and this stehen and gehen are verbs. So both the verbs aufstehen and losgehen are made of two elements, adding a prefix to the normal standard verb. So the normal standard verb is stehen and we are adding a prefix auf. Here the normal standard verb is gehen and we are adding the prefix los. Okay, so here, to make you understand more clearly, the prefix, the importance of prefix here. Now stehen alone, if we understand the meaning of stehen as an isolated verb, it means to stand, whereas aufstehen means to get up. Okay, so you see the meaning is completely different. Aufstehen means to get up, to wake up, and stehen means to stand up. Now here again gehen means to go, whereas losgehen means to go off. Now such verbs are known as Trennbare Verben, separable verbs, the verbs that can be separated. Now what do I mean that the verbs that can be separated? We are going to see that in the upcoming slides. Now, let's see the sentence with both the verbs that we just saw, aufstehen and losgehen. So, let's see how to use them in a sentence. Ich stehe 6 Uhr auf. I get up at 6 o'clock. Jonas geht 9 Uhr los. Jonas goes off at 9 o'clock. Now let's analyze these two sentences. Stehen and gehen are conjugated. This verb stehen and this verb gehen are conjugated. So, ich stehe conjugated with ich and geht conjugated with Jonas. So, stehen and gehen are conjugated and are placed at the second position. Verbstamm mit Endung. Position 2. Okay, so verb stem with ending, that means conjugated verb at the second position. That means the verb stem is with ending. Now what about the prefix? The prefixes are at the end of the sentence. So aufstehen and losgehen are Trennbare Verben because the verb and the prefix can be separated. Now where does the prefix go? Auf was the prefix here. Now this goes at the end. And this prefix los here also goes at the end. So auf and los both are prefixes and both the prefixes will stay at the end. So whenever we use them in a sentence, the verb is conjugated and placed at the second position, whereas the prefix is placed at the end. Now, moving on, let's look at another type of sentence, the V-Frage. We have already done this V-Frage in my previous video. In couple of videos, we have talked about it. If you have not watched my previous video, I would suggest you to go and watch my previous videos. Now coming back, V-Frage, the question that starts with W, that starts with W, we say in German. So for example, wann stehst du auf? When do you get up? Now what happens to the verb in this case? In this case also, the conjugated verb is at the second position, whereas the prefix is at the end. So as you could see, stehst is conjugate, stehen is conjugated with du, stehst, and the prefix goes at the end, which is auf. So wann stehst du auf? When do you get up? Now coming back to another kind of sentence, ja, nein Fragen. So in this case, let's first look at the sentence. Stehst du 6 Uhr auf? Do you get up at 6 o'clock? Now in this case, the conjugated verb is at the first position. Okay? And whereas the prefix is at the end of the sentence. So with ja, nein Fragen, we have also done this in one of my videos. You could go and watch. With ja, nein Fragen, the verb is placed at the second position and is conjugated. And in this case, because it's a Trennbare verb, so the prefix will go at the end. Now, what happens with modal verb? With modal verb, the Trennbare Verben, what is the position of Trennbare verb in with modal verbs? Now, we have not covered modal verbs yet, but we will be covering it in one of my upcoming videos. For now, we will just look at the sentence. Now, wann willst du aufstehen? When do you want to get up? Now, wollen is a modal verb which is conjugated with du, which becomes willst, and aufstehen is the Trennbare verb, is the separable verb. Now, what is happening here? The conjugated modal verb will be at the second position, whereas the Trennbare verb will stand at the end, and this verb will not be conjugated. This verb will not be conjugated. That means it remains in infinitive form. Only the modal verb gets conjugated and is at the second position. The Trennbare verb is at the end. It does not get separated. It is in its infinitive form. So, aufstehen. Now, let's see the conjugation. You should remember, in Trennbare verb, the prefix is at the end and the verb is conjugated normally. So, for example, aufstehen means to get up. Singular, ich stehe auf. Du stehst auf. So, if you see, the prefix is as it is at the end. It would go at the end. Hence, we don't need to conjugate it. Only the standard verb gets conjugated. So, we have also learned how to conjugate verbs in my previous videos. You can go and watch those to understand it, much better. So, ich stehe, du stehst, sie stehen, er steht, wir stehen, ihr steht, sie stehen, and sie stehen. So in this case, stehen is a regular verb and is conjugated like a regular verb. Now, moving on, let's look at some Trennbare Verben we use in our daily lives. Mit kommen, to come along. In this case, mitkommen is the verb, which means to come along. Mitkommen, the prefix is mit. Wir gehen zur Schule. Kommst du mit? We are going to the school. Are you coming with us? So here the prefix was mit. Okay. In the next verb, abholen. Abholen means to pick something or someone up. Ich hole dich um 8 Uhr ab. I will pick you up at 8 o'clock. So here the prefix is ab. Now, the next verb is abfahren, which means to leave or to depart. Now again, here the prefix is ab. The sentence would be, for example, der Zug fährt um 8 Uhr ab. The train leaves at 8 o'clock. Ankommen means to arrive. Here the prefix is an. Der Bus kommt um 9 Uhr an. The bus arrives at 9 o'clock. Now, the next verb is anfangen, which means to begin. Again, the prefix here is an. Der Unterricht fängt um 10 Uhr an. In this case, the verb fangen is an irregular verb. So, here with RZS, it is conjugated as fängt. Der Unterricht fängt um 10 Uhr an. The class begins at 10 o'clock. Now next verb is einkaufen, which means to shop. Am Wochenende kaufen wir in der Stadt ein. So on the weekend we will shop in the city. So do remember the verb has to be conjugated according to the subject in the sentence. In this case, wir. So am Wochenende kaufen wir in der Stadt ein. Now let's look at the next verb. Fernsehen. Now Fernsehen means to watch TV. So here the prefix is fern. Now Peter und Maria sehen am Abend immer fern. Peter und Maria always watch TV in the evening. Anrufen, which means to phone or to call. An is the prefix here. Ich rufe dich abends an. I'll call you in the evening. Einladen, which means to invite. The prefix here is ein. Lädt mich zu seiner Party an. Ein. Sorry, this is a mistake. It should be ein. So he invites me to his party. The next verb is zumachen, which means to close. Dieser Supermarkt macht um 9 zu. This supermarket closes at 9. So here the prefix is here zu. Now here in einladen, laden is an irregular verb, hence we have lädt. It has with a umlaut. The stem has changed. So it's an irregular verb. Okay, we have come to the end of this topic. These were the most important Trennbare Verben in daily use. There are many more, but these are some of the Trennbare Verbs that we use, in our day-to-day life, which are important for this level. Obviously, we will be doing more in the following lessons, and as and when we come across, different topics, different sentences. So definitely we are going to do that. If you have watched the entire video, do give me a like, please share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video with a different topic. Till then, bye.